In January 2026, the quantum computing industry crossed $57 billion in cumulative investment. IBM has built a processor with over 1,000 qubits. Google claims its Willow chip solved a problem that would take a classical supercomputer longer than the age of the universe. And yet, not a single quantum computer has run a commercially useful calculation. Not one. In this episode, we answer 3 questions. Why has quantum absorbed $57 billion without producing a single commercial application? Is this an engineering problem or a physics wall? Among 3 competing architectures, which one actually has a realistic path forward? And when you strip away the press releases, which companies are building real infrastructure and which are burning cash on science experiments? Let's start with the physics. A classical computer uses bits 0 or 1. A quantum computer uses qubits, which exploit a property called superposition. A qubit can be 0, 1, or a blend of both at the same time. 2 qubits hold 4 states. 10 hold 1,000. 300 qubits hold more states than there are atoms in the observable universe. That's the promise. Add entanglement. Linked qubits share their state across any distance. Measure one, you instantly know the other. This correlation is what enables quantum parallelism. Superposition gives you the state space. Entanglement lets you exploit it. But both come with a cost: decoherence. Any interference, heat, vibration, a stray magnetic field, collapses the quantum state. Current qubits maintain coherence for roughly 100 microseconds. Every quantum architecture is, at its core, a war against decoherence. So what can quantum computers actually do today? The honest answer: almost nothing commercially useful. Google's Willow chip solved a specific benchmark in 5 minutes that would take classical machines longer than the age of the universe. Sounds incredible, but the benchmark itself has no known real-world application. D-Wave's annealing machines solve logistics and optimization problems for MasterCard and Volkswagen, real customers, real deployments. But general-purpose quantum computing, breaking encryption, discovering drugs, training AI, all of that still requires fault-tolerant quantum computers that don't exist yet. Classical machines win for 99% of real-world tasks. So where's the bottleneck? The bottleneck is noise. Current 2-qubit gate error rates sit between 0.1 and 1%. That sounds small. It's catastrophic. At 0.1% error per gate, a 1,000-gate algorithm fails 63% of the time from accumulated errors alone. For fault tolerance, you need error rates below 1,000%, 100 to 1,000 times better than today. And the fix, quantum error correction, is brutally expensive. You encode one logical qubit into roughly 1,000 physical qubits. To run useful chemistry, you need about 1 million physical qubits. To break RSA encryption, roughly 4 million. IBM's best today, 1,121. 3 to 4 orders of magnitude short. 3 architectures are racing toward fault tolerance. Superconducting qubits: IBM, Google, Rigetti run at -273 degrees Celsius in dilution refrigerators. They lead in raw qubit count but have the worst error rates. Trapped ion systems: IonQ, Quantinuum operate near room temperature with the best accuracy, below 0.1%. But they're slow. Ion shuttling limits gate speed, and scaling past 50 qubits is unsolved. Then there's photonic quantum computing: PsiQuantum, Xanadu. Room temperature, chip fab compatible, theoretically the most scalable. But no working commercial system exists. It's the highest upside, highest uncertainty bet in the space. Let's look at the only pure-play quantum stock with real revenue. IonQ reported $43 million in 2024, up 71% year over year. For 2025, they've guided $130 million. That's 202% growth. The bull case: best trapped ion accuracy in the industry. Cloud access on AWS, Azure, and GCP. A roughly $55 million Air Force research contract. Pilot programs with Hyundai, Airbus, and Goldman Sachs. Market cap, roughly $7 billion. The bear case: burning over $100 million a year, with $370 million in cash. In my view, IonQ has the cleanest story among pure plays: real revenue, real contracts. The question is whether the burn rate is sustainable before fault-tolerant computing actually arrives. Now the most controversial name in quantum. D-Wave reported $24.6 million in 2024 revenue, up 179%. Fastest growth in the entire sector. Real customers: MasterCard for fraud routing, Volkswagen for logistics, NTT for supply chain scheduling. But here's what most investors don't understand. D-Wave uses quantum annealing, a fundamentally different mechanism from gate-based computing. It cannot run Shor's algorithm. It cannot do general-purpose quantum computation. Most physicists classify annealing as a specialized optimization tool, not a path toward fault tolerance. My read: D-Wave has real commercial traction in a niche. But the total addressable market for annealing is a fraction of the gate-based opportunity. Google, IBM, Microsoft. Combined quantum revenue, 0. Google's Willow, a 105-qubit chip that set the latest supremacy benchmark. Impressive engineering, but the benchmark task has no commercial use. IBM has the most aggressive roadmap, over 1,000 qubits, 250 enterprise clients, and a 2027 target for utility-scale quantum. Microsoft is the wildcard. In February 2025, they announced Majorana 1, the first topological qubit chip. If topological qubits work as theorized, they collapse the error correction overhead dramatically. But previous Microsoft quantum claims have fallen apart under peer review. Verification is still pending. All three are playing a decades-long game. None will generate quantum revenue for years. Let me show you the gap that defines the entire industry. IBM's best processor, 1,121 physical qubits. The number needed for fault-tolerant chemistry, over 1 million. A factor of 1,000. The honest timeline. A first fault-tolerant research demo by 2028 or 2029, IBM or Google, not commercially useful. Commercially valuable quantum chemistry, 2032 to 2035, base case. Breaking RSA encryption, 2035 at the absolute earliest, more likely 2040 or beyond. 4 orders of magnitude. That's where we are. So who wins, and who disappears? The landscape breaks into 3 tiers. Big tech: IBM, Google, Microsoft has unlimited runway but generates zero quantum revenue. They're building infrastructure for a future that may not arrive for a decade. Pure plays: IonQ, D-Wave, Rigetti are racing against time. IonQ leads with revenue and contracts. Rigetti is in distress, with going concern language on the books. D-Wave occupies a profitable niche, but in a different sport entirely. The private companies matter. Quantinuum has Honeywell backing and enterprise traction. PsiQuantum has $620 million raised and a global foundries partnership. If fault tolerance arrives through photonics, PsiQuantum wins. If it doesn't, they disappear. And on the software layer, Classic is building the compiler stack that all of these hardware companies will eventually need. Here's my base case for the next 5 years. 60% probability, IBM or Google achieves a fault-tolerant demonstration by 2028 or 2029, not commercially useful, but proof of concept. IonQ crosses $200 million in revenue via government contracts. 2 to 3 pure-play companies consolidate or go dark by 2027. Watch 3 signals. IBM has targeted 100 error-corrected logical qubits by end of 2025. If they publish peer-reviewed results, the commercial timeline moves forward significantly. IonQ's 2025 revenue guidance of $130 million. If they miss, especially on government contracts, cash burn becomes existential. Check Q2 earnings. And Microsoft's Majorana 1 needs independent verification. If validated, Microsoft leaps ahead in the long game. If it falls apart and they have a history, the credibility cost is severe. Positive catalyst: an error correction breakthrough that compresses the timeline by 5 years. Negative catalyst: a funding winter forces consolidation before the technology matures and the pure plays run out of runway. Downstream, pharma and cryptography will be the first real commercial applications. Upstream, cryogenic equipment and rare isotope suppliers are quiet bottleneck beneficiaries. I'm Big Z, follow me, see you in the next deep dive.